Okay. Vlog number 4. Okay. Right. Action. I was reading a quote somewhere recently. I forgot where I got it from, but the quote was basically, if all the knowledge you're gaining leads you just to think about things, it's like you're a fool. If it leads you to action, then you're wise. Something like that, anyway. So I picked up this book a little while ago. It's really had quite an influence on me. And I know I always bang on about the written word and how terrible it is, but you know, I sometimes have to remind myself and other people about this. I'm not saying that we should get rid of books. We should burn books. We need more books, but the written word is still a terrible thing. It's a great evil, right? This becomes so obvious to me that it's ridiculous. I just get fed up with talking about it. So anyway, this is the book, Tim Ferriss, Tools of Titans. It's a nice fat book, 700 odd pages. The tactics, God dear, routines and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. I'm reading it backwards, that's why I'm struggling a bit. So what it is, it's just there's tons of stuff, like all these different people in there, and like very short chapters, maybe 2 pages to 5 pages, say, covering maybe like 100 or so people, or 150 people maybe, all high-class performers, athletes, entrepreneurs, business people, you know. And they're all telling you the sort of like, it's each one is like a condensed version of all their best teachings, you know. So it's incredibly valuable. I was lucky enough to get it for 20 pence at a second-hand shop a week or so ago. Otherwise, if I'd known about what a good book it is, I would have paid the full £15 for it, because it's probably like a really good investment. So yeah, I've been thinking about action. I just started this. I tried to do this diet. It's called the Thermo diet. This guy, Christopher Walker, you can find him on YouTube. He's like an athlete. He's into keeping his testosterone and staying young and healthy and things like that. Similar thing to Tim Ferriss. And the other guy, Asprey, Dave Asprey. Yeah, Dave Asprey, that's the one. I've just ordered a book from Dave Asprey, actually, and I've paid the full price of £11. I'm expecting that soon. That's another book that's like full of loads of stuff from all different people. That's just similar book to this Tim Ferriss book. So yesterday, I didn't make a video yesterday, but I made an extra one before. I made 3 videos in 2 days, so I had a day off. And I started that Thermo diet, although I'm having a little break from it, obviously, because I'm drinking beer. But I've been really buzzing with energy. I've got loads of stuff done. I've done loads of workouts yesterday. I'll show you. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. Should I? I'll tell you what they are anyway. I don't know if you can see. This one is called the J curl. It's now I've had to improvise my weights with some honey and water in some little plastic tubs. So I've got 15 pounds, about 15 pounds of weight here, and it's pretty simple. You just if I've got the room, probably haven't got the room here. What a mess this place is in. Okay, so you just go sort of like, you stand upright, just bend your head down, and then gradually start lowering your back, bending your back forward, each one vertebrae at a time. Bring the bar down, keep it as close to your legs as you can. You keep your legs straight until you can rest it on the floor. I'm not very good at this kind of thing. My hamstrings are really kind of hurting just keeping it down on the floor. And then back up. And just do 5 of them. Oh. It hurts, you know. It hurts my legs, you know, the backs of my legs, but it's a good pain, you know. It's you can tell it's trying to do you good, making you more limber and be able to stretch better and stuff. It's one of those exercises that is just really good, just as a general warm up or just adding to a routine. It's good for your just general mobility, but especially for your hamstrings and stuff, and your back. Yep, so I've been doing things like that. This other one is called Halos, and you just get like, this is a 6.5 kilos, so I'm starting off quite small, but you just like stick it, like what you're doing is like moving it round your head like this, like a sort of halo. And this one is do it quite slow, start off not too heavy, but you can build up. I'm going to build up hopefully to about 25 kilos, maybe more. I'll see how it goes. But this is just like this to start with. It has a really cool effect on your shoulder mobility, you know, and so you just all around your shoulders, because you know what happens as people get older, they get all sort of hunched over a lot of the time, and is that 4 or 5? Yeah, you know, they all get hunched over and you lose like all that mobility in your shoulders and that. So, you know, people around my age getting on to 50 and that, or in your 40s, things like this are just going to make a real lot of difference to your overall well-being and ability to do stuff as you get older, you know. So this is just one aspect of the stuff I've been looking into in terms of staying healthy and young and stuff and fit and healthy. I think that's about it now, isn't it? Is that 5? So yeah, I done those 2 yesterday. Another one, I'm not going to do it now. Well, I've done the high intensity interval training just by running up and down the stairs a few times. That was, I've found out a new angle on that. I got from Dave Asprey. And he talks about doing like a 400-meter sprint Like, so it's going to like take a minute or so, just over a minute. And then having a lie down with your knees up in the air, and I think your hands above your head. That's how I've done it. But I done it on my stairs. I just done two up and down the stairs twice, have a 10-second rest, and then up and down the stairs twice again, another 10-second rest, up and down the stairs twice, and then go and lie down with my knees up in the air and my hands above my head, and just breathe, because you get out of breath, so you get your breath back. So then I woke up this morning about 3 o'clock, well, in real time, 4 o'clock clock time, and I just thought, right, I'm going to go for a walk. And I walked to my kind of local 24-hour supermarket and done a bit of shopping. Walked around the store for about an hour looking at everything, because I hardly ever go there. And then come home. Done a bit more stuff. There's other things I'm busy doing, like blocking up my windows. I went and done a little search this morning, and I got this bit of cardboard. It's just the right size for me. I've got 2 windows that are about that size, just a little bit smaller. So this is going to be perfect to block up the windows, so I can get, you know, complete darkness. Because I haven't been sleeping that well, and because one of the reasons is because my I tried blocking the windows up a few months ago with some black plastic bin liners sort of thing, and they don't really keep all the light out properly. So I just thought, I'm going to add that cardboard, you know, really make it so it's totally pitch black in my bedroom, so I can sleep better. The reason I've there's a funny story. The reason I haven't rushed into doing this, because I could have done this at any time in the last few years, but about 10 years ago, I blocked out all my light for the similar reasons, but I didn't know much about it. But I tried it about 10 years ago, and I woke up one morning or one afternoon, I can't remember, but I woke up in pitch black, and I didn't know where I was. Maybe I'd had a bit too much to drink or something. I didn't know where I was, and I absolutely like freaked out. And I started going around the room trying to find my way out, and I couldn't remember where I was. I'd probably only been in this flat for a couple of years anyway, so I wasn't really that used to it. Although, you know, you'd think 2 years would be enough time to get used to something, but no. Basically, that's about. I remember being about as frightened as I'd ever been in my life. Because I couldn't see anything, I didn't know where I was, and I was moving around the room, bumping into stuff, and I couldn't recognize anything, and it was all pitch black, and it just totally freaked me out. So I've been a bit reluctant to sort of black out my windows again, but now I'm getting down to it, because I need to get better sleep. And one of the things is to get a better sleep is to have a pitch black room, absolutely pitch black, no light at all. So it's action, you know. It's and this is like a declaration of how I mean to go on with this channel and these blogs. It's action, because I've been doing too much talking and not enough action. So yeah, I've just started this. Started looking into this thermo diet. I just feel pumped up. I'll explain how it works. The thermo diet, it's really worth finding out about. But just so you know how it works, it's based on fruit and meat, right? But it doesn't just have to be meat. It could be fish, it can be eggs, you know. But there's no emphasis on fat or complex carbs. And the other thing is, this is how it works, right? You start off in the morning. This is what I done yesterday, and it had about 3/4 pound of berries. Not any old fruit, just berries. So like, it was actually, for me, it was like about 1/2 pound of strawberries and 1/4 pound of raspberries. And so that, and I also, well, he also recommends having some stock, like bone stock, in the morning. So you have some bone stock and a lot of berries, You know, that's your breakfast. And what I'd also done was to take a few mineral supplements like selenium, chromium, magnesium, and zinc and copper. And I also had towards a bit later on in the day, you know, sort of getting on towards lunchtime, I had a little handful of red seaweed for iodine. And I also had like a good half teaspoonful of Redmond real salt, which is for obviously for the sodium, and also lots of trace minerals. The seaweed has got lots of trace minerals in as well. So getting loads of minerals. The berries have got lots of minerals in as well. They're quite nutrient dense berries. So as opposed to other fruit like say bananas and oranges and stuff, which haven't got so much nutrients in, but have got a lot of sugar. So you want to avoid those sort of fruit. You just want to stick to berries in the morning. And later on in the day, I did have an avocado with a little bit of olive oil and salt. And I also had bee pollen, you know, a good sort of 30 grams or 40 grams of bee pollen about lunchtime. So I just had loads of energy, you know. So I was able to do these workouts, you know, and then I had some like a proper meal in the evening, like a sort of bolognese thing with black beans and onions and tomatoes and turkey mince and olive oil, and then had that with like what's it called, cauliflower rice and a bit of Parmesan cheese on it. That was my dinner with a couple of glasses of red wine or 3. Yeah, and so I got a fairly good night's sleep. I mean, considering how much alcohol I drink, I got a good 4 hours like sleep. So I was up at 3 and off out, you know, very shortly after I got up, I was out for a walk up to the supermarket. It was a good 3-hour walk. I've been back now. I've been doing a few other things, clearing out my flat a bit. So it's all action. This thermo diet, yeah, you start off, that's basically how you can do it. There are variations, but basically what you're doing is sticking mainly on fruit, ideally berries. You can have things like tomatoes and avocados. I think because they haven't got so much fruit sugar in, you don't want fruit that's got lots of sugar really. But I'm finding it really interesting because it's quite a different thing to the ketogenic diet, but I'm finding I've got it's the first time I've really gone into it, and just on that first day, I just feel like I've got tons of energy. He recommends that he reckons that anyone will lose at least 10 pounds if you're slightly overweight at all. If you do that for a month, you'll easily lose 10 pounds. You know, and I could well believe it. I felt really warm. I've got loads of energy. That's why he calls it the thermo diet. For some reason, I think what it is that when you're having fruit in the morning, and basically everything I was eating during the day was, and I didn't drink alcohol, so everything I was eating was raw. It's got enzymes in it, so it digests really well, and so you're getting the energy straight away, and your body's not having to sort of go into sort of slug mode to sort of digest all these heavy proteins and carbs and stuff and fats. You're just getting straightforward nutrients that digest really quick in your gut. They basically digest in half an hour, whereas a normal meal that's cooked, that hasn't got enzymes, will take more like 4 hours to get through your stomach. So the energy is going straight into your body, and it's not being tied up in your digestive tract waiting to be digested. It's all being digested really quick. So throughout the day, you're just getting tons and tons of energy. And then in the evening, when you want to calm down again, then you have a cooked meal. You know, you can have some sort of starchy stuff, then some potatoes or something, and some meat and vegetables. That would be like a nice meal to end the day, so that will help you sleep better. And you can digest that whilst you're asleep, and then you wake up again and you're on the berries again. But I didn't do that today because I like to take these things gradually. So yeah, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna have to end this here now. Thanks for watching. Just a little update, tell you what's going on, and yeah, I recommend checking out this thermo diet. The reason I'm doing it at the moment is because it's in the middle of the summer here. There's loads of fruit around. I've checked out quite a few diets, well, a handful of diets, like looking at them, maybe experimenting a little bit with them, like the keto diet. I've been looking into this other one, the slow carb diet, which is basically you're having your meals like mainly bean, like say if you divide your meal into three, you're going to have beans, some vegetables, and some protein. So generally no fruit in that diet. Just you can have like things like tomatoes and avocado because they've hardly got any sugar in. But apart from that, you don't have any fruit. No fruit that's like high in fructose, high in sugars. So no bananas, no berries. You can have a glass of wine, in the evening if you want. And you do that for 6 days, and then you have a day off, and you can have whatever you like. And you're supposed to just do have anything you fancy: cakes, biscuits, alcohol, cheese, whatever. Just have a total day of eating anything you like, and then you do 6 days of having the same kind of food every day, every meal. Like just basic prop nutrition that's going to give you like slow release energy, but also lots of everything that you need. And no bad stuff that's going to upset your blood sugar and stuff. So you don't want to have any sugars at all. Apart from that, just vegetables, protein, yeah, maybe a bit of olive oil. And then there's the keto diet where you're using loads of fat, and then you want 300 grams of fat. So I'm thinking, well, that's the sort of diet you want to have in the winter when it's really cold. That's when you want to have the keto diet. When there's not much else fruit around, then you can go on to the slow carb diet. When it's really cold, then go on to the keto. And there's another diet, the gut makeover diet, which is more to do with getting a balance, but also avoiding like caffeine and sugars and grains. Most of these diets avoid grains that I've found. There's also the other thing of like, what's it called? Where you skip breakfast, and you shorten your window of food of eating down to about 6 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours, something like that, so that your body is doing its thing to clean up. When you're not eating, when you're fasting for a few hours, after 12 hours of not eating, if you go another 4 hours, your body starts cleaning up and repairing itself. All the enzymes that you'd normally use to digest your food go into your body and start digesting any like bits of your body that aren't working properly, and then replacing them with new ones, So a small amount of fasting. This is something. All this stuff I've been thinking about it. Now I just feel it's time to put it all into action. And there's me drinking beer and not putting it into action. But I am doing stuff like, I just felt a bit depleted from not drinking. But I've got my cardboard now to block my windows up, so I'm going to start sleeping better. I know about all these diets. I've got I've got every reason now to sort of start forging ahead and making my life even better than it already is. And it's already great. Thanks for watching. and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.